Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Cinny Cool, and this is Gems of War. And today I have your world event scoring for the upcoming week of October 17th, 2022. So let's get into it here. The week is called Big Yellow Fellow. That's our new Glory Shop troop there. He's a big old yellow fella. But let's check out the world event scoring. Want to shout out Faceless One for the super thanks. Really appreciate it, man. On the spoiler video, everything helps, y'all. Super thanks keep me going. So yeah, shout out to Faceless One. Really appreciate it, man. All right, so world event Topaz Treasures. There are 6 battles that players can encounter during the event. Zephyros, Frostfire Troll, Gloomleaf, Jotnar Storm Shield, Topaz Terror, and the Topaz Giant. This event has 3 phases. Ooh, great. We got the ones with the phases. I don't know why they even do that. Like, there's really no point. It almost makes it easier, though. Less stuff to choose between. Phase 1, the first 2 battles are the only available battles to play and have an equal chance of appearing. Players will need to win 15 battles here to progress to the next phase. Phase 2, the first 4 battles are the only available battles to play and have an equal chance of appearing. Players will need to win 15 battles here to progress to the next phase. Phase 3, all 6 battles are now available with an equal chance of appearing. This phase continues until the end of the event. So once you get to Phase 3, you don't have to worry about the phases anymore. And you really don't have to worry about them anyway. Like, just choose based on how many points you're going to get. And there's just less things that can appear, I guess. I don't know. All right, you can find the following rewards for each of the different battles you may encounter. All right, let's read them from the most to the least. All right, so the Topaz Giant, the new troop, that's what normally happens whenever we get a world event based on the new troop. Well, it's always like that, isn't it? But they're always worth the most. So the Topaz Giant probably going to have that toilet flush badge or emblem or icon. It's worth 3 Topaz Shards. Topaz Terror is worth 2 Topaz Shards. Jotnar Storm Shield is worth 7 Elemental Energy. Gloomleaf is worth 6 Elemental Energy. Frostfire Troll is worth 5 Elemental Energy. And Zephyros is worth 4 Elemental Energy. Each Elemental Energy is worth 2 points, and each Topaz Shard is worth 8 points. That's a lot. That's a big difference there, but you get more of the one than the other. The battles against Topaz Terror and the Topaz Giant will drop a variable number of Topaz Shards and on average, about 1.18 times the base amount. So we have the Topaz Giant, who is worth the most, which is 24 points. We have Topaz Terror, who's worth the second most, which is 16 points. We have Jotnar Storm Shield, who's worth 14 points. Gloomleaf is worth 12. Frostfire Troll is worth 10. And Zephyros is worth the least. ABC, you could do alphabetical there and just know that the Z is worth the least. That's one thing we can determine here, our mnemonic device or whatever. Not exactly that, but you know what I mean. Something to remember, a trick to know. Zephyros is worth the least. He's a Z, which is the end of the alphabet. But yeah, the Topaz Giant worth the most. That's going to have your special emblem or badge. It's going to look like the wave or the toilet flush, as I like to say. Topaz Terror will be worth the second most. So you just look for Topaz. Topaz Giant is worth more than Terror. The Giant, the thing that's bigger, is worth more. But Topaz, those are worth the most. So we're going to be looking for Topaz. The Giant is worth more than the Terror. So if you don't see any kind of Topaz business, you got Jotnar Storm Shield, who is a mythic. So that's 3 that are pretty easy right off Jump Street. You either see Topaz, and you pick the Giant over the Terror, and if you don't see any Topaz, you pick the Mythic, which is the cyan color, Jotnar Storm Shield. After that, we have Gloomleaf, Frostfire Troll, and Zephyros. I think Gloomleaf is a legendary, so that's easy too, because he's legendary, while Frostfire Troll and Zephyros are not. And then you just do alphabetical order for the last 2. Zephyros is worth the least. The thing with the special emblem or badge is worth the most, and the Giant is worth more than the Terror. And if you don't see any Topazes, you pick the Mythic, Jotnar Storm Shield. Can't really see where you can screw this up at all, honestly. Maybe if it's between Zephyros and Frostfire Troll, you might forget which one's worth more, but just remember alphabetical order. It's pretty. You can't really screw this one up. Topaz, if you see it. If not, Jotnar, he's a mythic. If not, legendary Gloomleaf. And then Z is worth the least. Pretty simple. And then the part where it says 1.18 times, you're picking Topaz whenever you see it, so you're not going to like not pick it because you're not going to pick it because it gets 1.18 times the base amount. Like that doesn't even really, it's not even, it doesn't matter. Like why would you ever pick anything else? Like why does this matter? It's there. Same with the phases. Like they really don't matter. The first two battles are the only available battles to play. Like two things are going to appear. You're going to pick the thing worth the most points. You're going to go on to the next battle. Two more are going to appear. You're going to pick the thing worth the most points. You're going to fight it 15 times, and then you're going to go to phase 2. There's going to be 4 things then. You're going to pick the thing that's worth the most. You're going to do 15 battles. You're going to go to phase 3, and now everything has a chance of appearing. And you're going to pick the thing worth the most. Like the phases don't really matter either. So all that stuff is just, the 2 different items, the phases, the 1 point. It's just like all stuff to make it look like it's more complicated than it is, and like they put more thought into it than they did. But it's all just a bunch of crap that doesn't really matter. So the only thing that matters is pick the Topaz Giant, then the Topaz Terror, then Jotnar Storm Shield, then Gloomleaf, then Frostfire Troll, then Zephyros. The Topaz Giant's worth the most, Zephyros is worth the least. That's all that matters. All this other fluff doesn't matter. But yeah, that's it for today. That's your world event scoring. There's nothing down here at the bottom. Sometimes they'll say like, hey, we put Medusa in the drop table, or hey, this tarot card's in the drop table. Haven't seen that very often, but they do that sometimes. As far as the rest of the schedule goes, I should have a team video for the world event coming out like a couple hours after this video. This one's releasing at reset. The team video should be out by like 5 or 5:30 a.m. for me, Eastern. And then the weekly preview usually comes out around 8, 8:30, 9, something like that. A little bit later. And then, of course, Tuesday we'll have the faction teams for the faction event at reset. That's what's going on for you Gems of War people. So appreciate y'all. You're the best. Like, share, subscribe. Consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel. Comment below. Shout out to Faceless One for the super thanks. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week. Or it'll have a great week because this will be out on Monday. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.